Yo, what's good? You're listening to Everyday Superpower, the place where we talk about body language, we talk about communication as a whole, attraction, repulsion, human communications, dynamics, and so forth. Two links in the description of this video. One of the links will take you to a YouTube playlist of mine consisting of all of my non-verbal communication lessons. It'll teach how to read a person just by looking at them. Second to that, there's a link to the Patreon account where you'll be able to join me in real time watching real dates with real people, and I will showcase you the attraction and repulsion cues that you will experience in your own life. And honestly, you won't learn that information anywhere else. That's some serious game right there. Now, moving on, I'm going to freestyle this one a little bit, to be honest with you. I've not necessarily got a concept. I just want to talk about confidence. Because it's all you ever hear about, right? Especially like in, you know, your bog standard spaces where people are generally like okay communicating with women. Women will definitely tell you that yes, I just want a confident man, and you know, your general populace who just tends to blag it without looking into any sort of theoretics and so forth, which to me is essentially the best way to do it, honestly, because there's highs and lows and ups and downs, and you might not be clued in and all this and that, but there's a blissful naivety when it comes with it. And why do we have to be so theoretical when it comes to a biological pairing of the sexes? It should be a complete natural organic chemistry for the most part. That's my personal philosophy, but I know the information purely because I like to know the information, and you're here because you like what you like. So that's it really. But we're going to talk about confidence and what it means to be confident. When people talk about confidence, because it's so, you know, I've come full circle when it's come to this confidence thing. So you hear about it first thing, oh, you just need to be confident, and you try to be confident. You end up being someone you're not, right? So then you leave that confidence thing to one side. You just say, you know what I mean? People in the black pill space will have a laugh at it, saying, oh, yeah, just be confident, blah, blah, blah. All you need to be is 6'5" and then just be confident. Because there's so much at play that is completely correct. That you can't smell like a bag of crap and just be confident. I mean, within reason, you probably could do if you had the game on tight, but there's so much more in the equation. So confidence, competence, establishing momentum with your communications with women and so forth, right? There needs to be a genuine confidence in what you have going on, right? You can be humble, all right? Because the results and actions you take and can prove will explain themselves, yeah? People don't like people who just talk for the sake of it. But if you ever get asked a question or ever have to fall upon explaining that you can do something or you can do something at a high caliber, the weight in your word should be so impenetrable and understandable and relatable and just clear that you are confident in that action, that they will have no doubt in their mind. Because there's a difference between, like, have a look at something you're good at. Like, I don't even care if it's video games, right? Let's say you're not good at anything real world applicable, yeah? Bar making money streaming, if that was the case, but that's not even what you're doing. You're just good at playing Smash Bros or something. You're good at playing the PlayStation. So when somebody asks you, you know what? Do you reckon you can? Let's say you've never had a game of football in your life. And someone says, "Do you reckon you'd have me at football? Do you reckon you'd have so and so in a game of football?" And then if you try to just be confident, you can say, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? Blah 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 blah." Right? Even if you are self-assured, they're gonna look at you and say, "You're just bullshitting me," because we both know that's not true. And even though you are confident, you have nothing to back that up. The spirit of what you're saying is absolutely nada. Whereas if the same person said, "Oh yeah, yeah, you're pretty good on PlayStation, and do you think you could beat so and so PlayStation?" At that point, you could say, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, of course, that wouldn't be an issue. Don't be silly." You know what I mean? And that's the difference, because that confidence comes with competence, because you've been there, done that, done the maths, recognized the patterns, failed 20 times over, learnt 20 times over, onwards and onwards, compounding the interest of understanding information and education along the way. Do you see where this comes from? So now your words are weighty, right? This is how this is going to go in regards to your communication with women. Yeah, let's say I don't know, the if you know any video games that are notoriously tough, yeah, my mate plays a game called Dark Souls. Apparently you have to learn a few patterns when it comes to the bosses and that, otherwise they just wipe you out. Yeah, you need to die so many times before you start getting the swing and the pattern and the routine and the rhythm of things, right? So this is the exact same game you're going to be playing with yourself when it comes to communication with others. So that's why the more communication you have, the more you go out of your way, the better, right? Now, this isn't to say you want to find comfort in failure, because you want to start breaking out of that routine of failing. It's not good to feel comfortable within the actual failing. All right, well, I failed 20 times back to back to back to back to back. That must mean I'm going somewhere, right? Not necessarily, because what you need to do is reapply what you've learned and adapt. And naturally speaking, you will be doing that. You will be doing that. But there's nothing wrong with consciously paying attention aside from that. Yeah? So I always recommend, you've got so many excuses to speak to people. If you're not cold approaching people, which I completely understand, it's not the optimal way of doing things, because you're going to put people on edge. If you're not an incredibly social person and you're not cold approaching people, just ensure you're not buying stuff online. Ensure that you're going and seeing people face to face when it comes to purchasing stuff, when it comes to asking for assistance. Embrace that. Embrace asking for assistance from people. Oh, do you know where this is? Do you know where that is? I'm trying to find this. Instead of looking to the internet, ask your next person who might have an idea. And what you'll do is you'll start to re-engage with human communication. And in this day and age, when we're also stuck onto our phones, when we're also glued into the online space and so forth, this natural human communication, this biological pull between you both, is starting to get pushed further and further and further and further apart. It's detrimental to everyone, including yourself. But if you break free of that, then you are going to learn exponentially, and you're going to be such a more special person than the next person they have a conversation with in the street. Yeah, this is effective communication. If you want to get laid, people, do you think you're just going to go from A to B? No, there needs to be some sort of communication in between. There needs to be some sort of chemistry in between. Your mouthpiece needs to be on point. Your you need to be you need to be clear in what you're doing. So back to where we started. Back to where we started when I was talking about speaking with confidence. When you speak with confidence, let's say you start to get a swing of things, and somebody asks you how the date went you had the other night, and you said, you know what, it went pretty well. Yeah, it went pretty well. I'm happy. I got the golden touch. Do you know what I mean? I have got the golden touch. I say it out of my chest because it's the truth, yeah? They understand that. Boom. Now suddenly you're good with women purely due to the concentration of the message you have just sent in response, yeah? You're now brilliant with women, as opposed to the next man who says, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I could have a bad day as far as her not being interested in me or it not going anywhere in the future. That doesn't bother me, because I know what I'm there for and I know my value and I know my worth, so I could still go full frontal and just say, yeah. I mean, yeah, it wasn't too bad at all. It wasn't too bad at all. I'm happy to go out and meet new people. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's exciting. And before you know it, you're going to be known and have a reputation for being good and confident and consistent with talking to women, with going out with women, with having fun with women. And that will create its own momentum, establish its own magnetic pull. Whether you get called a player, whether you get called, you know what I mean, this, that, and the third, that doesn't matter. Because the truth of the matter is these people are good with women, and that's why they get given these names, and that's why they attract more women. Yeah? It's not like you're a creep. You could either be a player, you could be Mr. Nice Guy, or you could be some creep. It's up to you. And I'm not saying you need to be a player as regard to manipulation and using women. We don't do that. We do not do that. Because both parties always have a great time. Both parties have a lot of fun. You know what I mean? We're exchanging our time and efforts in order to put a beautiful smile on that woman's face. So what does that matter? We're not lying to nobody. So this confidence and this, consistent establishing of momentum that you are utilizing and harnessing and, you know, learning from at an ever advancing rate are like artificial intelligence. That's what's happening inside your head. Just this genuine intelligence. You know what I mean? You have this Google space in your head where you could go to all of these different subconscious pockets of your mind and brain where you could draw from your life's experience, your life's communications, and be able to maneuver with such, you know, slick means in your day to day to day. And I'll tell you what, initially you're gonna get good at talking to someone. You're gonna get good at saying hello. You're gonna get good at saying blah blah blah. And then you'll get into the middle game and you'll know how to correctly pace yourself and speak, through good conversation, through healthy conversation, through fantastic mind opening, you know, attractive conversation. And then once you've established all of these over and over, you're going to get good at the end game because you're going to start sealing deals and you're going to start negotiating and you're going to start thinking, wow, I'm a fantastic salesperson in the realm of love and romance. This is incredible. This is now who I am. And I feel absolutely amazing for it. I always wanted this. And here I am now. And that's never going to stop from there on because now you're going to be known as a person who is incredible at doing that. And other men will come for assistance from you. And women will then further see you as a leader of men because you can now teach other men what they don't know. Have you seen how many factors and variables? The only problem is, and it's a severe problem, is it's getting yourself out of the mud at that first point. It might take you a year, it might take you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years to become efficient and develop the established momentum necessary to get out of that space because there could be something in particular that is really, really, really holding you back. And you consciously are not aware of what it is. Okay? So you need to use the world as your mirror to understand what it is about you, which is the thing. I embrace criticism and reflection of my negative traits to me because we all have them and I can't perceive myself like the next person perceives me. No way. I've got this heightened self of self. That's my ego talking to me. It's completely incorrect as far as what the world sees me as. So when I hear it off of other people, I embrace it and I enjoy it. Even if it is detrimental, even though it isn't, if it is negative, I'll hear them, I'll understand it and I'll say, well, that's me. Okay? I'm happy to hear that. You know, and you'll hear it off of women. You'll hear it off of women who are a bit preemptive of you. You'll hear it off of women who in your space but find you a bit confusing, find you a bit odd, find you a bit this and that. That comes with the game, all right. You know what I mean? When it comes to Mystery's method of peacocking, do you not think he's not perceived as weird and odd and a bit of an oddball? Not only from the men but from the women. And the thing is, his argument is that if you can go out there with them characteristics as to which animalistically speaking, will have you perceived as prey, okay? You're not blending in, you're standing out, but yet you're managing to confidently and competently stand out without any fear of repercussions, then you must have something special and you must be so self-assured in order to do that. That was a little talk. I just thought I'd have a little speak and chime in for a moment. Click subscribe, click like, join in. Peace.